everyone, DPX here. Welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine, probably my most anticipated movie of the year. But before I get started, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment, or I will destroy your universe. So yeah, I just mentioned it was my most anticipated movie of the year, but there were some worries going in with Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, there was originally worries that maybe Disney was going to water down Deadpool. But watching the trailers, they ain't watering down Deadpool. But my main worry was we had such a good send-off for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine at the end of Logan. And so you just bring him back. But anyways, I think after watching the movie, it's amazing. I love this movie. I think first I am going to talk about the R-rated nature. Because this is a Deadpool movie. They did not hold back. Talk about the MCU, this is definitely the most, violent, the most crass, the most, vulgar, the most horny MCU movie we've gotten. And I think that's a good thing, because we've had these PG-13 movies for a while, and I think, I feel like the audience of the MCU is a little older now, so I think maybe you can get away with doing some R-rated stuff. But this one's interesting because it's not completely MCU, if you know what I mean. It starts off in the Fox universe, and this is gonna be spoiler-free, but I will say it's also very self-aware. I feel like Deadpool has always been self-aware, but this one knows when in the MCU it's coming out. It knows that the MCU is not in its best form right now, and it pokes fun at that, even by Deadpool calling himself Marvel Jesus. And yeah, the Deadpool's also always been fourth wall breaking. Obviously, that's part of his character, but it doesn't get it never gets too crazy here. I thought, for example, in She-Hulk, that was pretty fourth wall breaking, but I feel like in some areas that show took it a little too far, to where it kind of broke the rules of the MCU. In this, it's done very well, I feel. And even though this is the third Deadpool movie, this is also kind of Wolverine's movie. Like I said, Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine was a little worrying, because I don't know if you guys know this about me, but Wolverine's my favorite superhero. Throw that in with the fact that I think, Logan is one of the best comic book movies of all time, maybe a top 3 at the very least. And Hugh Jackman's Wolverine had the perfect send-off, and for a while it didn't seem like we were even gonna get anywhere close to him coming back as Wolverine. Him to all of a sudden come back as Wolverine was a little worrying, but the way they bring him back in this movie, I think is it respects the send-off at the end of Logan, while finding a unique way to bring him in. As alluded in the trailers, this is a very broken version of Wolverine, He's kind of a failure. I don't want to get too much into detail here. That stuff was in the trailers, so I won't say any more than that. And I guess the one thing we never got before Logan was, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have this fake Twitter beef, which is funny and all. So we never got to see those two actually have chemistry on screen as Deadpool and as Wolverine. So now we do, and they have fantastic chemistry, comedic chemistry, just banter, whatever it is. They work very well off of each other. The action in this movie is also fucking amazing. It's so entertaining. You got, the soundtrack is... I really like the soundtrack. It kind of... I bring that up because it kind of plays into the action. The movie starts with a big action scene. There are multiple different action scenes. There's, a couple of fights between Deadpool and Wolverine that are a lot of fun. And they're both very funny. As in, the two characters. You get Deadpool, who's this very, jokey character. And you get Wolverine, who's more serious, but he's still funny. He's still funny in, a serious way, if you know what I mean. One thing that you probably heard a lot about going in and that is all the cameos and surprises. And there's a lot. The trailers really did not show you that much, except for that final trailer. I kind of wish they did not show X-23 in that. But there's a lot that you don't know about going into this movie. Now, I'm not going to spoil any of them, but, like, a lot of them kind of surprised me, you know? Like, there's a lot of stuff that was in the movie that I was expecting. You know, a lot of stuff that got leaked, some stuff that I didn't get leaked. And we get meta jokes about them, too. And, you know, poking fun at, like, maybe what happened to that character or that actor playing that character. You know, I'm doing my best to avoid spoilers. Also, I'm like running on like 4 hours of sleep, so that might be part of it. But I just found, like, this is basically, I don't think Multiverse of Madness is that bad of a movie, but you get the name Multiverse of Madness, and you're expecting a little more than what we got there. This is probably what you would expect out of Multiverse of Madness. Like, this is what you would expect that movie to be. Like, I really so badly want to talk about the surprises in the movie, but I'm not going to because this is a spoiler-free review. So I'm thinking of doing a spoiler discussion. May or may not happen, but we'll see. But yeah, just the surprises are done very well. I loved it. But even though this is a movie kind of about bringing Deadpool into the MCU, it's a movie that involves, you know, Wolverine. It's a movie about, like, the multiverse and all the these cameos. It's kind of a personal story, you know. It's not, like, at times it doesn't feel as like big as maybe it should. And I mean that in both a good and a bad way, because in a good way because it's a personal story for Deadpool, and I think that's interesting. But in a bad way because I just think they could have leaned more into the multiverse stuff in terms of, like, you know, it being a big deal. This didn't, me personally, it didn't feel so much like Deadpool going to the MCU. I don't want to get into that too much. Like, I don't know how we go, like, I don't know how we go from here into the MCU. You know what I mean? Like, I'll probably have more to say about it in my spoiler discussion. But that's pretty much my only issue. I thought the movie was, like, so much fun. It was funny. It was, like, cheer-worthy at times. You know, it was got emotional. There were moments in the movie where I got goosebumps. It's a fun movie. Is it the savior of the MCU? I don't know. Kind of like how I think one bad movie does not kill the MCU, one good movie does not save it. But I will say, this movie had the hype that a lot of, like, MCU movies were missing for a while, you know? Like, ever since No Way Home, I feel, the MCU hasn't really had a movie that was, like, that had this much hype behind it. And it lived up to the hype, you know? Maybe there were some movies since No Way Home that had hype behind them like this, but did not live up to the hype. This lives up to the hype. And yeah, I miss these days. I miss being this excited for a Marvel movie. Like, we don't get it doesn't happen anymore. So all around, Deadpool and Wolverine is a fantastic Marvel movie, multiverse movie, Deadpool movie, Wolverine movie. It's just a fun ride all around. So in the end, I'm going to give Deadpool and Wolverine a 9 out of 10. That's my review for Deadpool and Wolverine. What do you guys think of it, though? You guys like the movie, not like it? Have you guys seen it, not seen it? And if you haven't seen it, do you guys want to see it, not want to see it? Anything about the movie, let me know down below. No spoilers. Keep this spoiler-free. So be sure to like this video, come subscribe, or I will destroy your universe. Bye!